Happy Halloween, everybody! I have nothing to offer. No trick. Well, alright, well, maybe just this treat here. Right, now that we're back in focus, let me back this up just a little bit so you can see what's going on here. I have finally acquired the Walgreens exclusive Transformers Power of the Primes Deluxe Class Wreck-Gar action figure. I've been sorting this figure out for the last couple of months here, but now it's finally hit at my local Walgreens store, so should be popping up somewhere around your store very shortly, or stores, depending on how many you have around your area. Regardless, though, happy hunting. With that said, let's get to it. Taking a look at the packaging as partake of every single video review on this channel, it is your standard Transformers packaging from Power of the Primes with the artwork of the character right there at the top left corner. There's a look at the alternate vehicle form, which is a motorcycle. Pretty cool. Right, Power of the Primes, Deluxe Class Wreck-Gar, Autobot logo, Ages 18 Plus, Hasbro's logo, the Transformers logo going up to the Misaligned Generations logo at the top right corner. Quick throw into this video, here's the authentic Transformers logo to let you know, once again, if it doesn't say authentic, it's a knockoff. There, I didn't forget. On to the back of the packaging, and let's get up here so we can see what the bio has to offer for this character, and it's just as bland as any other bio that comes out of the deluxe figures for Power of the Primes, with little to no effort at all. Right, I may regret this, but Hasbro, if you're not going to give an effort, then I'm not going to give an effort. Just because I changed my name to Hasbro does not mean I'm sponsored by Hasbro, okay? So when things get dark and gloomy, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Anyway, before we take a look at the action figure in his robot mode, here's some contents he comes with, his instructions, his trading card. So here's a good look at the artwork for the front. Here's a look at the back with the details on his Prime Master gimmick, and nobody cares. Let's go ahead and take a look at the figure now. Overall details. It's Wreck-Gar. What do you expect? He's good for only one thing. Garbage. Yeah, I had to say it. You can see that his face is painted pretty nice, so is his mustache and his goatee. And the problem is his eyes are so sunken far back, you can't even see that they're actually painted, and that's a bit unfortunate. He's got the nice handlebars for his head. Nice touch. It's always been a nice touch. Gives me a bit of a giggle here and there. Right, so anyway, here's a look at the lower section of Wreck-Gar. So there's his legs, some nice paint for the seat. Here's a look at the front of the motorcycle, which is the obvious backpack syndrome for the figure here. You can arrange it in certain ways to try and make it look better. This rotates, but I find this to be just fine with me. I mean, it's not really that much of a backpack here, considering that he does have some nice molded on heel spurs that are not going to move on you, so he does stand up pretty good no matter how you got him balanced. Not much else to really say about the figure here, so let's go through the articulation. He does have a ball jointed head. He does have ball jointed shoulders, so you can see you get all the range that you can possibly ask for. You also have the hinge due to transformation on a very tight ratchet, so you can get even more movement out of the shoulders, which is pretty good. And he does come apart very easily, and that's only because, let's see, this is probably the 5th figure out of this mold, so I'm guessing, yep, mold degradation. We'll get to that very shortly. Alright, so back to the articulation. We do have a swivel cut above the elbow. The elbow is single jointed, does get 9 degrees of bend. That's all you can really ask for. It does have a waist swivel cut. Ball jointed legs, so as you can see, you get this much kicking forward, this much going back, and I already spoiled it. Yes, you get your full JCVD split, so there's your still quality. Do have a mushroom peg to give him some 5 swivel movement. You do have single jointed knees that does get 9 degrees of bend. And that's it. That's your articulation. Not much else to really say. Some parts move here and there, but that's not really articulation, right? So, he does have some accessories. He does. Obviously. So he's got his prime armor here, and he's got this weapon. We'll look at the prime armor first. So, you know how this works. You can attach it somewhere around the figure and try to make him look cool. But, going by the instructions, the only way that you can get this to attach to the figure is the little peg right there that goes right into the hand, and there you go. Yay! Okay, so his real weapon here, which is this very nice looking pickaxe pinwheel, does transform. As you can see, it goes from this to this, this to this, smooth, sharp, right. It doesn't spin. It would have been nice if there was actually a way to get this to spin while it's in this position, but it can't be done. Still though, looks good, even if it doesn't have any paint on it, but that's to be expected. It does have a hinge joint. If I turn it the right way, this does fold down if you want. For storage, I guess. I haven't figured out exactly where this figure can store his weapon, if at all, because it's not even in the instructions, but I guess what you can do is you can kind of find a place to clip it back here, just like this, and be done with it. That kind of works. It's probably not going to stay in place. It's pretty loose, but it seems to be holding just fine if you get it in the right groove. So there we go. It's an option, but what weapons are really meant to do is be applied in the hands of the wielder. So with that said, there you go. That's just silly with how far it sticks out like that. I am so sorry, but there's nothing that can be done about this. Nothing at all. This is the way it's engineered. The figure does not have any open hands, so you can't slide it in another way. It has to come from the top of this hole here or the back hole right there, and that's as far as it will slide down. It will not go any further. It might stretch the plastic, you might break it, because it is that brittle filling plastic that does not flex, so you are stuck with this. You cannot clip it anywhere else. This clip right here that's on a ball joint does not fit anywhere else. I've tried it every possible place I could think of. I could get it to clip right here with luck, and I guess you could use it as some sort of blaster, but it just doesn't look good. It really doesn't. So with that said, we're just gonna go ahead and put this aside and put this aside now. So, alright, with that out of the way, guys, we're gonna go ahead and dare to compare with Transformers Power of the Primes Deluxe Class Moon Racer and Titan's Return Windblade. Very nice scale between these two lovely ladies. Now be gone. Alright folks, now that that's all taken care of, let's go ahead and transform the figure. Oh god, no, please don't make me do it, but I have to do it. The show must go on. That's right. This is not fun to transform, and there's a reason why, and we're going to get to it in just a moment, because it doesn't take that long to get to that step of the transformation. To start things off with, we're going to rotate the head, so that way we don't have, you know, the head reveal syndrome when he's in vehicle form. And then we're going to rotate this section here. So now that gives us the front of the motorcycle, but what we're going to do next is we're going to bring up on these hinges the shoulders and rotate at the bicep to tab all this into place. Repeat the same process on this side here. Sometimes it takes a little forcing as this tab likes to come out a lot. Right? Okay, now that that's taken care of, you see these two tabs right here, these two slots right there, they're gonna slide right into one another like so, and there's the front of the motorcycle. The easy part's all said and done. The next step is to rotate the waist, and here comes the music. Right? You're gonna love this tune. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop open the legs via Combiner Wars syndrome with most of the aerial bots. So you got this double hinge here that is going to, you guessed it, come back like so. There's going to be two tabs that are going to be on the back section right here that are going to coincide with two slots right there at his knee guards, and that's going to create the seat of the motorcycle. Now this section here is going to just tab into place. Very easy connection. And this all seems pretty simple. But when you get to this section here, as you notice, we have a slider joint. Right, turns out I was wrong about the transformation. This is not a slider. This is actually just a normal clipping one. It just takes a little force to get that to tab into place. But it should make things a lot more smoother when you go about bringing the wheels in like so, and getting these tabs right here to line up with one another. Which this is actually the real tricky part. Once everything's lined up to your liking, give a little force on this tab here, and there you go. As you see, it didn't have to slide into place, it just clipped right in with a little force. So, get everything readjusted here, and here we have a complete wheel with very little problems that time around. You do have also your kickstand here, and then the tab comes undone again. But as long as you got this lined up just right at the front and the back of the wheels are lining up good, there you go. Let's do this. So here's a look at the Junkion in his motorcycle mode. It's very cool looking. He's got some nice headlights here with some very nice details behind the clear plastic, which makes it pop, especially with the silver highlights. Very good. It's got a Tempograph Autobot logo on the windshield, which is very good. This is probably where gas would be plugged in for the figure, if it used gas, of course. Yeah. So then we got some detail here to try and hide the obvious hand syndrome here, but at least the head does hide up pretty well, especially if you got the face flipped around, like I mentioned earlier. The wheels does roll pretty good from the front. But the back wheel, due to this complexity of the transformation, it's a very tight connection and gives very little space for the wheels to actually roll freely. So it is nice to have some really nice working kickstands for motorcycle transformers, and this is no exception. The only problem is, with my figure, this section at the front does not like to stay tapped into place. I mentioned this earlier, saying that there may have been a problem here. Yes, I feel like this is probably mold degradation, or it's starting here. I don't know. Okay, I could probably dab a little bit of super glue on the pegs to make it a tighter connection and hold it into place. But if this section here at the front moves any bit, any slight bit at all, then this kickstand is useless because he will not stand up at all. I have to push this in place and keep it right in place, and hopefully once I let go, then he'll display just fine with the kickstand down. So regardless of that, it is a nice looking motorcycle, but there's not much else to really say about it. I mean, it's Wreck-Gar. What do you expect? Anyway, we do have weapon storage for his weapons. So starting off with this signature weapon here. Doesn't actually attach anywhere else except for the front of the motorcycle. I was thinking this is like an exhaust pipe here. Maybe it would attach this way or something to complete the look of the motorcycle. No, it's not in the instructions, and I can figure out any other way to get it to work. So what you can do, as instructed, what you can do is you can get it to clip to the handlebar like that. And you got a little bit of a Mad Max design here with a weapon in the front to slash at Decepticons while you're driving by. It's an option. It doesn't stay pegged on too long. The clip likes to come undone and just spring right off, which is kind of hilarious at times, but it's a thing. And then, of course, you got your prime armor here. What you can do is you can plug it in on the top here, and then you can fold this down. And I was thinking at first maybe this might actually keep the front of the motorcycle in place, but as you can see, there's still enough clearance for it to move around on its own. So, nope, that didn't work out. But still, regardless of the results, it's actually not too bad. This is probably the only real use for the prime armor. It's the fact that this makes this look more bad A, in my opinion. And definitely Mad Max style. I love it. Right. So, with that said, you could also plug in the prime armor here and here, but it's kind of useless. It gets in the way of the wheels from rolling for what they can. So, not much else to say. What do you say we finish this video up by daring to compare one more time with the beautiful but deadly Titans Return Windblade and Power to Prime's Moonracer. With that, we are pretty much done. There's not much else to say except to give my overall thoughts. Is this a pickup? I don't know. Honestly, to tell you guys the truth, if you have the original Generations figure of Wreck-Gar, then this is an easy pass. It's got its good points, it's got its bad parts, and it is starting to show a little bit of early signs of mold degradation. Or maybe it's just my figure. Anybody else has got this figure here, this one right here, by all means, let me know down below in the comment section of this video what's the quality on yours. That's the only way I'll know for sure. So, not much else to say except for questions or comments. You know, do hit it down below in the comment section of the video. If you like today's video review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until then, my friends, this is Hasbro signing off by saying, when the opportunity persists, don't give up on your dreams. Siege the moment. For anyone that cares, here is a look at his combined arm mode for Scramble City. And here's a look at the leg mode, using a hand because I don't have any feet at the moment. Later, guys.